Every decision we make sends a vibration out into the biosphere. Eventually, that vibration comes back to us. Think of it as an echo effect. Society demands that we keep consuming, but we have already reached our physical maturity on this planet. We have filled the jar, hitting the hard limits of what the Earth can sustain. Over the next 5 minutes, you are going to conduct a personal ecological audit. The goal is to shift your personal scorecard from material accumulation to ecological health. Grab a physical journal and a pen. To do this, you'll need to use your receptive choice, the active awareness that you have the power to filter out consumer conditioning. By auditing your habits, you stop being a passive passenger in a consumer culture. Instead, you are taking the rudder of your own ship and actively steering toward a restorative, post-growth horizon. Start by drawing 3 columns in your journal. Label them habit, echo of depletion, and echo of restoration. Redefine a depletion echo as any daily action that relies on the global matrix of extraction, taking from the earth and leaving the consequences for the future. A restoration echo is the alternative. It is an action that actively feeds the life web and strengthens your local community. This physical framework is the first step in diagnosing your impact. It allows you to see exactly where you can begin to reinvest in natural capital. Let's start with food. In the first column, write down one daily food habit. This might be buying imported produce that is currently out of season. Consider the ecological footprint of that choice. Think of the land, the fossil fuels, and the massive global supply chains required to move that single item to your grocery store. Because this choice relies on a massive, unseen infrastructure of extraction, it is a clear echo of depletion. Now, write a restorative pivot in the third column. This could be sourcing your produce from a local farmer, growing it yourself, or committing to buying only what is in season. This shift moves your energy away from a fragile global system and puts it into reinforcing the resilience of your local bioregion. Next, identify one energy habit. It could be driving a gas-powered car for short errands, or keeping the thermostat higher than necessary. Most of our modern convenience is supported by a cosmic credit card of fossil fuels, ancient geological stocks that we are drawing down faster than they can ever be replaced. Cultural conditioning tells us that more energy use equals a better life. To change this, you must actively filter out the thou shalts of modern consumerism. In your third column, write a pivot that prioritizes renewable resources. This might mean biking for any trip under 2 miles or opting into a local renewable energy grid. Decoupling from these fossil fuel expectations reduces your reliance on a system built on depletion. You are choosing to live within the hard limits of a finite planet. Finally, look at your waste. Identify one organic item that you routinely toss into the garbage bin. Nature operates in closed loops, but the industrial model is linear. It follows a path of consume and excrete, where inputs are turned into wasted outputs. Anything sent out of sight to a landfill is an echo of depletion. It is a resource removed from the cycle of life. The restorative pivot is simple. If it lived once, it can live again. In your journal, write down a plan to start a backyard compost pile or a benchtop bokashi bin. This isn't just about reducing trash. That biological matter breaking down is the literal engine of fertility for your soil. By closing this loop, you transform a destructive endpoint into the foundation for new growth. Review your journal page. You now have 3 specific areas where you have identified a path from depletion to restoration. This page is your new scorecard for success. It replaces the outdated pursuit of endless growth with a focus on deeper complexity and connection. True wealth isn't what you have in the bank. It is the health of the soil and the strength of the community surrounding you. By making these uncommon choices, you are moving from being a passive consumer toward becoming a co-creator of a living world. You are taking the wheel of your own destiny. Look at these echoes of restoration and identify who in your community you can link arms with. Start building this post-growth reality today. We have built our world on a high-stakes assumption that our industrial momentum is as unsinkable as the steel hulls we once set into the Atlantic. But the elephant in the room has grown too large to ignore, moving out of our private shadows and into the center of our lives. This is the meta-crisis, the tipping point where the stories of endless growth collide with the physical limits of our planet. The Lifeboat Mini Course is your immediate, structured transition, a free 5-day journey delivered to your inbox to transform global anxiety into local resilience. Day 1 begins with an audit of the invisible, the energy and water systems you rely on every hour, yet rarely ever see. Day 2 forces a change in your geographical lens, challenging you to locate your true home within your watershed and local bioregion. You won't navigate this terrain alone. You will receive daily study guides and synthesized patterns designed to cut through the noise and reveal the architecture of change. Day 3 asks you to practice active hope in a world facing ecological overshoot. Day 4 introduces the demanding standard of revolutionary love. By tracing the water back to your neighbor's tap, you move beyond the narrow walls of self-help and into the expansive, interconnected practice of systems health. The climax arrives on Day 5 with the introduction of a specific framework for your future, the 9x21 harvest. Who is your mutual guiding spirit in this transition, and which 9 things will you choose to do? Stop waiting for the headlines to crush you. Sign up for the Lifeboat Mini Course now. Access your Day 1 materials immediately and join the community hub where the next story of our world is already being written. You can remain tied to the illusion of a collapsing global credit card, or take this course to begin building real systems health today. The Earth is tired of the lie. It is time to dance with the truth.